Hey everybody, it's Chris here on my channel, and today is March 6th of 2025, and it was also the day Universal Kids officially signed off forever. Yes, if you have seen this video, if you haven't watched it, it has announced that the Universal Kids is officially shut down forever, signed off forever as of this morning, and we'll have to explain about that in a little bit. So it's time once again for probably another demonstration video, and this will be my last of the demonstration video before I am moving down to Florida in the next 2 months. So this time I'm going to give you a little bit of a little background here. I used to have back around a long time ago, a few years ago, I got the Concord 220 reel-to-reel tape recorder, which is a mono, but actually it was working fine. But I think one of the staff got rid of that's the one I used to have, that I got it at a barn sale. I believe it was actually called Hoffman's Barn Sale at the time. It worked fine, but after I do a lot of fixes, it worked perfectly. Yeah, but it was a mono. And of course, yeah, I was but sadly, after doing some cleanup and all this stuff, straightening up all of my room, it got rid of my 220 and didn't have it anymore. So after all the years, after I got a few other reel-to-reel machines, I got, including my Sony TC105A, the one that I did a video on that, and of course the Panasonic RS765 US that was working fine, but it had some audio problems. But I know I'll have to do some other video on updating this unit later in the video. We'll talk about that when I get down there, when I do some update on my Panasonic RS765 US. And of course, I got rid of the Akai 1721W because the motor was slowing down. At the time I didn't have any replacements for the what they call the motor run capacitor, which I have one something in there, but not anymore these days. So today, this is going to be the last package I got before I am moving to Florida in 2 months. We'll talk about that possibly in a future video. We'll do one last video of what we're going to be doing, the last one for the house after 25 years. Yeah, it's been a great ride. 25 years of living in this house. I've been in New York for a very long time. When I was young, back in '88, when we moved back to New York from Puerto Rico, and we had been in New York. We lived there for a very long time. After all these years, for about 2 decades, I guess. It was a great ride. And then we lived in New York City for a couple of years, and then in 1993 went to upstate. We lived in Statsburg. I lived there, and at the time. And of course, I lived up in Kingston for 25 years. It's become part of the program, the in-flight program. And then after 25 years of being in this house, it's over. Yeah, it's time for me to move on with my life and all the stuff that I've been doing over the years. It's been a great ride for 25 years, and it's time for me to move on with my personal life of being in this house. And this item I'm going to show you, I'm going to do an unboxing video. This is going to be the last unboxing video for here, until I'm going to bring this with me and move and live down there, and I will be listening to my reel-to-reel tapes that I have in my collection. So this time we're going to be doing this video. This is going to be something completely amazing and exciting, that I am looking forward to this. As soon as we finish up this video, I'm going to do a big reveal once again. So I had a TC105A, a Betamax machine that I did a video on that last year, or probably a year before that. And now it's time to do this. This is the very last unboxing video for a little while, until when I'm going to be moving very soon. So let's take a look at this big reveal. So I'm going to be hitting a drum roll right here. So I know the old drum roll has been removed, but I can't find it. It's been lost. So now let's take a look at this. So take a look. I'm going to show you I'm going to do an unboxing video right now. I'm going to use my thumbtack, and we're going to show you what this thing looks like. It's a reel-to-reel machine. It's something that's completely different. It's very nice. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to cue the drum roll right now to show you what this is. Here we go. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I forgot. We gotta try it again. Please. Alright, I gotta cue the drum roll, but forgot we didn't do the fanfare. I'm sorry. Yeah. It's a failure. Never mind. I'm gonna try to unbox this thing, and we're gonna do a big reveal. So we're not gonna cue this thing up until, all right. The moment you've been waiting for is finally here. I gotta show you once again. This is it. This is it. I'm gonna show you this right now. Oh yeah, I am gonna save my box for packing. And also, I'm gonna buy some packing peanut, like bubble wrap or something. I'm gonna get bubble wrap soon, okay. Now the point is taken. Now it's time for a big reveal. All right, so we're gonna do is hold on. I want to show you what it does. It's going to be something similar. So hold on a second. All right, ready? Let's take a look at this. Get a load of this. We're going to do this one last time. Are you ready? Here we go. Here it is. Ha! This is it. You're looking at. This is it. The Concord 440 reel-to-reel tape recorder. Wow, this is amazing. What a miracle that it was when I first got this thing. This is very special. Oh, it's got all this stuff included. Yep, it's got the... Oh, look at this. You should probably notice. It has the Concord brand on there. And it says 4,444 track. Is that 4-track or quadruple 4 or the 4444 or 4,444? I don't know if you can figure out. It's a 4-track machine. It's not mono, but it's a stereo. I'm going to show you okay. And now we're going to open up and see what this does. It has a speaker. You see the front has a speaker on there. And when you open this up and here it is. Voila! Here it is. Voila! A unit itself. Here it is. A big reveal. Can't believe this. This is very, very special. Oh. I know, I gotta get the tripod out of this way because it's starting to fall off a bit. Here it is. This is a nice looking machine. It has, oh yeah, this has a, oh yeah, this is, I don't know what it came with it. I don't know. It's nothing to do with it. It's, all right, it's got here's the unit itself. It's got 3 speeds, a switch for the tone controls, and here's your volume, and here's the one for your volume control and your for channel 1, and then channel 2 it has an off volume control. It's got rewind, stop, fast forward, play, instant stop, and of course the buttons for channel 1 and 2 for record. And it's got your counter. And it has actually an analog counter. It says Stereophonic 440 Concord. And yeah, you can't even look at this Concord is, yeah, you can't pull the head cover off unless, yeah, it does not even have a cover on this. Yeah, it's not permanently removed. Oh, that's fine. And there's your display, a light for the channels 1 and channel 2. And it says transistorized on it. And you can see what's on the side. And here's the side of the unit. It's got your plugs for the microphone, auxiliary line, speaker for channel 2, and channel 1 must be the same for speaker, line, aux, and mic. It has a switch for mono and stereo. Yeah, see if it's a little rattly. But you can see here's the bottom on this unit is actually 440. Yeah, it's actually the unit itself. It's kind of shaky inside here. And here's the front speaker for the first channel, and the second one for the speaker could be a separate channel for this. This is for the second channel speaker for channel 2. And it's got your speaker plug for the second channel, and it came with goodies. It has an original cord, yep, where you can plug your auxiliary input. This is an original patch cord. This has an original cord. This is for connecting to your MP3 player. And here's your an original microphone. It came in an original bag. It has the original microphone. Just a really cool thing. Interesting. It's got 2 original microphones. Still looks pretty good. It has for the mics. And there's an original plug. This is also an original cord for this thing. That's going to be for if you can plug it. It's actually a 3.5 millimeter jack with the RCA audio male plug. This is very nice. And it's got the one that says here, it has the original tag. It says plug an extension speaker furnished with recorder into output jack mark SP right channel to, if plugged and left channel 1 internal speaker will be disconnected. And there's the same on the back. And this is where you can connect your plugs or anything. And also you got an original plug. This has an external plug for this jack. That's I don't know what this is. And I think this is like probably the better machine. Oh yeah, and that has a foot on there. Oh, this one, yeah, you gotta. This thing needs to. Yeah, and that one got removed. I don't know why they fell off. I had to put this thing back together. So, well, never mind. And it's got the speaker on here. It looks pretty cool. So, and there you go. Those are all the features you get on the Concord Stereo 440 model 440 reel-to-reel tape recorder. I think this unit is very similar to the model 220 that I used to have. And this came out around 1964, 67, according to the year. This was one of several models. There's made by Concord, and there was even another version there was another variant of this machine model, which is a model 444. This is actually a very similar model. And there's also one thing. You see, it has on the back, it had 3 tubes. Those were 3 original tubes and original power cord on the back. So it has the power cords on the back. Yep, it's got 3 original tubes. These are 3 vacuum tubes, and it's also a hybrid unit. It has 2 transistors and 3 tubes instead of a 1 tube. And this is another one of those hybrid units that came out around probably in the midst of its 60s. Probably the late 60s, that was all the original vacuum tubes were replaced by none other than the solid state. But this one's actually a hybrid unit of 2 transistors and 3 tubes. They use like 80888C, which actually for the Japanese version of that, they use Japanese tubes. The version I have here is actually, there was also a US version equivalent of the tube marked 35C5. So let's see if I can test this out. I'm gonna plug this in and see what it does. Now, the moment of truth. Yep, it turns on. The power is on. Yep. Yeah, you have to turn on the channel 2. And yeah, you got to turn the channel 1. There's a volume on there on the main speaker. That will be channel 1. So let's see if I can hit the play button and see what it does. Yep, it's playing. I don't hear any noise on it. It was like an oscillator thing. Yeah, I remember when I first saw this thing on eBay, when I saw a seller made a video of why this is happening, because there you could hear that boom. It might be an oscillator problem, but when I first turn it on, nothing. Actually, it does nothing, but yeah, volume control looks okay. The play button looks fine. Yep, you can hit the button. Yeah, everything works. Rewind, stop, fast forward. Yeah, it does not run. Yeah, I have to turn this thing. I gotta clean this up. Maybe I'll have to take this thing apart and do some work on that. And here's your stuff for the record buttons. And then there you go. Those are the low tone, medium tone, and there's your switch for the high tone. Those are very nice looking set unit, but I'll have to first, I'll gotta test this tape out and see what this does. I'll have to put a reel-to-reel tape in there, and I'll have to see if this thing works. All right, speakers in. Yep, the tape is in place right now. I'm gonna see if the speaker is connected to channel 1, and let's see how this goes.
Many presidents have honored Mexico. I'm pleased to be the one with an opportunity to wish President Berlin a very happy 80th birthday. America is richer for his president.
There it is.
And
it works.
Is richer for his fine youth. Mr. Berlin once said, I owe a debt to America that I can never repay.
It works.
And I would like to announce tonight that President Berlin's debt is now paid in full. Many years ago.
Yep, it finally works. Yeah, I have to clean the idler wheel, all that. So first of all, I gotta take this thing apart and see if I can do some cleaning. Yeah, rewind, fast forward. Yep, it needs to be clean and lubricated. Rewind works perfectly. And there it is. It's finally working. It's finally working. Thank goodness. I didn't do something whatsoever. So this is the test. I tested it. It fully works, and now it's finally done. Thank goodness. Yeah, it looks great. This is far better than the Sony TC105A, but I hope one of these days I'm thinking about I'm gonna take the other one with me because I'll be using this for recording and all that. This is something I can play outside and have fun. And this is the last item that I just picked up before moving down there. Very, very soon. It still works. Maybe I'll have to get my hair done as soon as I get it. Maybe we'll have to do a video on that. Maybe we should do. I'm going to take this thing apart right now. I'm going to come back and we'll do some cleaning and spraying, relubricating, all that stuff. We'll have to do some stuff. We'll do some recording tests, and we'll see how this thing performs. So let's stop this video right now. I'll come back and we're going to do some what was inside of the unit. So stand by. And there you go. In order to take this thing apart, you have to look at this. The wire is actually, it doesn't come out completely. Oh yeah, it looks like it was being hardwired connected to that unit itself. It looks like it has a. This one is actually lights up completely. I don't know what is going on with this. So here you go. Oh yeah, it's unlike the 220. This has the exact same mechanism than it was used in the Concord Model 220T reel-to-reel tape recorder. It has two stereo heads. It has a record head, a race head, or something. These are like a race head or record head. I don't know what it is. It's got a nice pinch roller. It has the pinch roller, but I don't know. This is like, you have to... Oh, dear. You had to... Yeah, I don't know why. If this thing, it needs to be removed, or maybe you could spray it with this. Yeah, look at this. It needs a lot of cleaning. And it needs a lot... And it's got all the actual capacitors. And these are underneath here. These are all Japanese-made capacitors. These are underneath at the bottom. Right at the very bottom of the unit is actually, I don't know. This is definitely a unit that it has that little piece of screw completely. I don't know, but I have to think about when I have to look at the back of the unit. It has replaceable tubes, but I don't know what this is. Yeah, it is basically one. It has a belt. It has the exact same belt that's one used here, and of course the idler wheel. This is something really special. Yeah, it has a play button, the fast forward buttons. Yeah, I have to think about maybe I'll have to clean the reels completely. Yeah, the rewind clutch mechanism and all that. This is really, really cool. And of course, there's also two buttons just for the power switch, so it won't get shocked. But this is something really nice. I hope if I can try to think about what I don't know what we're gonna do with the bottom of this unit. First up, I gotta clean this thing. Yeah, I gotta clean everything out of this thing. It's a little dirty, but it needs a little bit of cleaning, and the tape will work perfectly fine. So I'm gonna stop this video there. And what we're going to do is come right back and do some nice cleaning stuff to do. And by the way, you can tell, I want to show you what it is. So I went ahead and cleaned the heads. I cleaned the pinch rollers, and yeah, it's a little bit okay, but it needs a lot of work to it. So I used a lot of Q-tips to clean them all off. See, you can see all the stuff. Look at that. It's very dirty. And this one, it needs to clean even more heads. And so I actually do is use this thing to spray the volume switch. Yeah, I actually sprayed. Let's see if this is. See if it's. I sprayed the tone switch. See if it does run properly. And I cannot access the bottom of this, but it has like. See, I cannot access underneath the this unit because it's a as you can tell, yeah, you see this hex screw, the hexagon screw that screws over there. I cannot access the bottom of this unit, but I don't know what is going on with there because I don't know. I can't lift this thing because it has all this bolts, yeah, to hold the screws in. And that's all I have to say about that. But overall, it runs perfectly. It's much clean. The heads are nice and clean, and I had to think about clean the rest of this residue off, but it's fine. I know the pinch roller looks like it's been played over time, so that one's cleaned up. It's fine. So it needs more cleaning on the pinch roller. So overall, it cleans fine, but it's now running perfectly fine. So let's see if I can put this back together and see how it plays pretty well. And let's see what's behind the unit itself. This is the first time I've never encountered this one. If you remove this, you have to use those nuts. You have to remove all the nuts to access underneath the unit. As you can see, here's all the capacitors, and it's got 2 transistors. Are still original. It looks quite good for an original capacitors. These are all capacitors, and these have 2 transistors. You see, here it is. It has 2 transistors on there, and here it is. Those are 3 tubes. You can see what's under there. It has 3 30A5 tubes. These are Japanese-made tubes. It looks a little dirty, but it needs a lot of cleaning tubes to get through. And of course, here's the little oscillator or whatever this is. And it looks really nice, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff. Are included here. Those are all Japanese stuff, and you can see here's what's inside there. It uses all Matsushita parts are in there, but these parts were made by the same company that made Panasonic. And here's what it says. It has to be RS750. And this was originally an RS750 model, which was originally a Japanese version of the Concord, which is basically which is also what they call a Model 440, which is RS750, which was originally made by National. It's a Japanese version of that. It was put out back in the 60s. It's got the circuit board on. It has a printed circuit board on that. It has a chassis on that. It's got the whole bunch of stuff inside. It has a mega chassis. These have TR4, TR5. It's got 6 transistors and 3 tubes, and it's an oscillation unit, and and the oscillation coil are in here. So this is basically it's in this unit right there. So I think it's a really cool set. I love these tubes. These are a little bit dirty. It needs a little dusty, but it needs a lot of cleaning to do. So yeah, I actually removed the speaker cords. It has that little pointy cords. Yeah, you got to be very careful if this is happening. If it does, it breaks, it snaps off. So I don't want to do that again. And here's the thing itself in its glory. And there you go. I found this is interesting. I always got to tell you, this is a nice looking unit. What's underneath the set is all a bunch of stuff in here. So I'm gonna stop this video right now. I have to do lots of cleaning to do. I have to put back together and see how it goes from there. All right, everything is back together. I put this stuff back in, and let's see if this thing plays.
But at the same time, knowing Emily, she'd also probably contributed her own foregone opinion of them. Either scathing, contempt.
It was running perfectly. You could tell the speaker's running. Guess what? It's dead. I thought the speaker was running fine, but you could hear that buzz on that thing. Take a look at this. So I just changed it to stereo. See what it does. Yeah. You can see how it plays. It plays very slow.
Good morning. My name's Fred. Fred Trieber. We're your new neighbors. It's not new, it's just... And it wasn't until some weeks after the newcomer's arrival that Albert actually...
Yep, it's running on channel 2. Well, it's running on channel 1. Yeah. It is not really going to respond to this thing, but... Oh. It's trying to run this thing. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a problem. It might be some sort of a motor run fail, but I'm not sure what this is. It might be some sort of a speaker. It looks like it won't respond on channel 2. I'll have to fix the speaker there, but I don't know what the heck. The speaker is working perfectly, but you can tell that yeah, the speaker on the channel 1 is working, but then channel 2 is the speaker is possibly on the left channel, which is the right channel, which is channel 2, then channel 1 possibly on the right channel. I don't know, this might be the big problem. Unfortunately, the motor run capacitor, it might be a motor run capacitor, it might be bad. We'll have to find out. Yeah, you can see this. Yeah, right. Channel 2 is running perfectly. Yeah, channel 1 is actually having some problems. Yeah, I'm just running this because, just to let you know, the song from Steamboat Willie is in public domain. So I don't have to worry about this. Yeah, and this looks like running slow. Yeah, it is running very slow. It's time to see if I'm thinking about fixing this thing. But I'll have to check what's underneath the bottom. So I'll have to stop this video right away and think about maybe I'll have to fix this. I'll have to check to see what is going on with this unit. Yeah, it has a dead speaker on that. Channel 1 had a dead speaker, but channel 2 is running perfectly fine. But it's actually, when I changed it to mono, it was running perfectly, but on both channels. But all I did is just, look at that. It is just really bad, but I don't know why. What was wrong with this thing? It was a motor capacitor is running, having some problems. This thing is about to cool off a little bit. Yeah, but it might be a tube or something. Might be from something else. I don't know. We'll have to find out as soon as I have to fix this thing up, and I'll have to try this again. I did check this thing. It might be an original motor run capacitor. It might fail. Looks like it's slowing down like crazy. Yeah, it is probably the most catastrophic thing that happened. It might be the original motor run capacitor. I do have another one replacements because I have an extra one right here. I'll have to think about changing this thing because this thing is really, really slow. But this one needs to be replaced. So well, let's do this. I went back and removed this thing once again. I found something when I took it out. Here's what I found this time. Yep, this has the original motor run capacitor, which is attached to this thing. But you see what they have. It has the original 2 microfarad AC 250 volt motor run capacitor. This is the original one, but the big problem, it would cause this thing to slow it down. Yeah, this thing is very slow. If you cannot compare this, that caused the unit to be running very slow. So I have to decided to do is replace it with this new one. But yeah, so I have to do is once I get this thing done, I'm gonna replace it with the newer ones. But this is not beyond perfect from the other things that I have here. Yeah, I had to say it's not really that perfect for when you think of this. This capacitor is MP condenser 2 microfarad, and yeah, it's one of those Japanese made capacitors. So what I'm gonna do, I have one which is the 1.5 microfarad, which I have an extra one down here. Let's see what it does. I have to work on this thing to see if they can get this thing running. This is what I have here. This is the one I have here. It's either 1.5 450 volt capacitor, and this is actually a it's actually it runs on this is a 1.5 microfarad. This is what I'm going to be replacing with. I have an extra one that I will do this, that I am going to replace this thing with this one. So unlike the last video, I've been doing this, and this is what I'm going to do is just change the capacitor with this one to see if this thing improves. So let's stop this thing right now, and we'll go from there. And before we get to this any further than this, I want to share with you all about Universal Kids. And yeah, as you probably know, it was being signed off forever, but it says here, you're already subscribed to this channel, receiving a message in error, highlight in those of you that got DirecTV, that Universal Kids is no more. But it says troubleshooting, and then when you hit OK.
Oh, okay, fine. Throw in the crust, and for today only.
This is Baking Championship. It says channels no longer available. Yeah, but it's not even available on DirecTV. It says to add this channel now, but yep, it's not on anymore. So I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a confirmation about Universal Kids shutting down. So I know a lot of people have seen the video about this, but it says it's no longer in service. But you could tell by that this thing is not, probably you cannot get access to DirecTV. So yeah, so I say it's rest in peace, Universal Kids. Now back to the repairs. See that? I just installed the new motor run capacitor. It connects it from the negative to the red, and the positive that goes into black into the red. But yeah, the positive and the negative that can go right over here. This is something I always want to do this, but anyways, I actually put a new motor run cap installed. So let's see if this performs very well. And also you have to use the paintbrush. I had to dust this thing off with the fan. The motor is kind of blowing off, so I'm gonna think about clean out some of that dust from the motor. So let's see if I can put it back together and see how this performs. And I'm gonna cut this video right out, and we'll come back and see how the finished product, how this thing improves. So let's see if I can put this thing back together and see if let's hope it to be the best. All right. I had to go back and check what was inside of this thing. I have to look inside of this thing once again. I just did check to see what was wrong with this thing, because the left channel on channel 2, the right channel works fine, but except the left channel on channel 1 is distorted. I play around with the tape and I test it on there, and it doesn't sound as good. But it might be it might be a distorted audio on channel 1, which is pretty much distorted. So I did go back and check and see what the heck is going on. I'll see what the heck is this. Capacitors. Yeah, I had to check and see what this is. I just sprayed contact cleaner. I just had to spray this. It looks kind of yeah, it's kind of what's called these things are corroded. But I think most of these are corroded. I think from this record play switch or something. I had to check to see what this is. Some capacitors. I had to check to see if none of these are leaky in there, but I don't know what is going on with this. There's I know there's a shielding on there, but I had to take a look and see what was behind there. And none of these were very leaky at times, but I had discovered this thing. It looks, yeah, but I had to check to see what this is. The thing it's on there, but once I did check to see what this is, it might be some sort of thing going on here. I don't see why. It might be some sort of a bad solder. You can see, look, all the stuff they have. It might be bad solder, but yeah, I have to check and see what this is, if it might be a bad solder or what might cause the channel to be. Yeah, look at this. It's got some, oh my gosh, look at all this. These are all stuff. Look at this. It's yeah, you see all the crack on this thing. It's might be you can see it looks much like this was actually cracked, and you can see on the hole on there, it looks like it was. Yeah, look at this. It's might be a bad solder. I mean, if it was a bad connection on the solder, it might be a tube socket. It might be a vacuum tube socket on channel 1. It looks like it might be a bad solder, but I'm sure if it might be a hole that was left there. I'm not sure this is the hole that caused this thing. It looks like more of a bad solder, I think, but I think this is the one. I think it caused a little bit of an issue here. It looks kind of crusty. You can see how the crack. See, I don't see any cracks on the solder. But this is like some sort of bad soldering joint. But this is like, I have some soldering gun. I'll have to think about getting a soldering iron. I saw one at Walmart. I was gonna get it because I already have a soldering gun. I thought the wrong one is actually, I bought off Amazon. That big one, it won't fit in my soldering gun. I had to do some work on that. So this one, I think it's all the pins right there. They look like it's been cracked. Let's see if there's, yeah. You can tell that this thing, it looks kind of cracked. So I have to do is solder it back together, and I'll have to think about resolder it back in, and see if the channel improves. It might be the problem that causes thing to have a problem on the left channel. That maybe right channel works fine, and that one's pretty. Yeah, the mono one's for the other one's for the mono or something, or it might be one for the right channel. I think center. I think it's left, right, mono. I think it uses some sort of a tube, but I have to think about maybe I have to change some tubes a bit. But this is kind of awkward, but yes, it also has tubes. But I'm thinking about I think if it's a good idea, that might be a bad. Look, see the hole right there. It looks like it's been badly soldered. This is not great if you look it up closely. There it is. it might be a bad solder. I thought the bad solder is right here. Maybe we have to do is resolder it back. We have to see if I can fix this up and get the channel going, and see if I can think about fixing this and see about the channel is going to be maybe done. I hope maybe one day we'll do that sometime. So yeah, I know it's a distorted audio from this channel, so I think about fixing. I'll think about maybe I'll have to resolder it and put it back together, and maybe one day I'll have to look and find a soldering gun. I have a soldering gun. I need a soldering tip to see if I can fix the problem with this thing. So I got to stop, and that's all I could checked. But all the caps, like I said, I did are completely checked. But yeah, it might be the problem running this thing. It might be the issue. Might be a problem. So anyways. And then back to the main unit itself. When I was playing the tape, I had to check to see what's in there. This might be a stop thing. When you hit the play button, if you touch it, it might be the sound coming on the channel 1 main amplifier. It's not. It was cut, but you could hear that distorted audio. Yeah, that was not great, but it was not even good. But of course, the right channel works fine, but the left channel is not. So I have to do maybe I'll have to see if I can think about, maybe I'll get a soldering gun or maybe a soldering tip, because I used up all the soldering tip for other things. But yeah, it's not really good. So that means I got to put this thing back together, and we're gonna call this a little bit of a day here. So anyways, let's put this thing back together and see what's going on and see how this thing goes. And by the way, I did a video on this thing. A user named Daywe or Daywhy or whatever you call it did a video on repairing this thing. So this one is actually, yeah, when I fixed this, when he was fixing the take-up reel on his Concord 220, the one I used to have. But this one, I believe I fixed this thing. I did fix the problem because of what I did, and what happened was it rattles. I hate the rattling, is not great. So I had to do is just have to spin around and spinning and spinning and spinning, and yeah, it's just to get contact. But this is just really, yeah, it's fine, but I just fixed it and replicated to make the speed sounds better. Sounds a hell of a lot better, but hopefully. But I use electrical tape to prevent from getting annoying noises and all that. But yeah, you can see there's see how you can wiggle it a little bit? So I'm just gonna wiggle a lot. Yeah, it does not look right for me, and I had to do is resolder it back together. And this one too. Yeah, it's basically it might be a loose tube socket. That might be a... Something else I have here. Yeah, it might be a solder joint was cracked. I'm not sure. There's a... Yeah, it might be a solder joint. That might be some cracks on the solder. But anyways, let's see if I can think about putting it back together and then call it a day here. Now everything is back in place, and I did some test recordings on them by using this one, because I have to give this I did some recordings on it and see how it goes. I had to try to change it to stereo, but you had to record it very loud. So I hope one of these days I'll have to do some fixing on to fix channel 1 on this thing, because it's very distorted. So I don't know how to do this. Maybe a trimmer might help or something. I'll have to do some updates on this in the future video, depending on where I'm going to be moving to another location soon. See if I can bring it with me to see if I can think about fixing channel 1 on this thing. So this is going to be very important. So let's see if I can test it out. So music I'm recording this, I played back on it. It says by Mr. Proxy Brony Music re-uploads. And it says Pink Amina Pinkie Pie VIP Pinkie Party Machine EP. See how this plays. There you go. That was actually the Concord 440. Works fine, but it's got it's down on audio distorted on channel 1 on the volume control. I'm thinking maybe one day I might be fixing this thing because I had to fix this channel 1 distorted audio from this because I actually it works fine, but it plays perfect, but who cares? So I hope you'll enjoy this video, and I hope one of these days we'll give you a little update on this machine to see if I can think about fixing it, or if not, I have to check to see if this tube is still there. It's still warming up. Maybe I have to resolder this thing to fix the problem, or it might be the issue with these cracked solder joints because of what was going on with this unit. But well, I'm not gonna have to get rid of it, but I'm gonna bring it with me because I'm gonna do a little update video on this if I move to another new location. And this is gonna be the last tape recorder that I got off eBay at this home before moving down to Florida, because starting May I'm gonna be leaving, and I'm gonna bring those with me. This one, I'm not gonna go anywhere. I'm gonna bring it with me to fix this thing, so I'll have to try to test it on this machine to get this thing up and running. But this thing, it works fine, but especially I'll have to think about fixing the left channel. I'll have to do some troubleshooting on the machine to see what was wrong with this thing. So I'll have to fix it, and we'll get back in working order, and it'll be working perfectly fine. So we're gonna do just the 7.5 speed works fine. 3 3/4 works. and 1 7/8 works. All right, I don't have time to do a microphone unit on this, so I hope you all enjoy this thing. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and I will catch you next video. This is Chris, and I will see you again later.